Yo, what's going on, guys? We got another battle from the Cup Nations group stage. This time it's Nabataea against Saba. A pretty interesting matchup that kind of got some attention. At least Saba has been getting some attention based on the fact that they're bringing these Royal Camel Archers, and I don't know, people think that they're quite strong, but in the end they're only kind of good for their mass. The reason why you're taking them is because they are, as we can see here, they are heavy missile cavalry, so they can do some damage, some impact damage. But if we look at their actual stats, pretty trash. Like, no charge, no attack, weapon damage is okay, only 45 armor. So you're really using them just to shoot at the end game and charge shit in the mid game, which is kind of backwards because by charging shit in the earlier mid game, you're going to lose men and therefore have less ammo to finish the game with. So a bit confusing, but people swear by the fact that they're good. So yeah, so they're going to be brought here. So let's look over the armies real quick. So I pretty much knew that this exact army was coming, saw it in other games, and people keep telling me that, you have to bring the 3 Camel Archers for Saba, it's like super OP or whatever. So I have a pretty much hard counter army, expecting that. So I've got 3 Slingers up front to match his 3 Slingers. Mine are slightly better, I think. Wait, maybe not. 15 armor, 45 health. Yeah, they're exactly the same. Cool, so we have the same Slinger force. Not going to be a huge deal for him because my Slingers can't really focus down Cav. He could theoretically focus down Nabataea Noble Cav or something, because they don't have great armor. They have 70 armor, so it's not going to be super effective. So Slinger is really not going to come into play unless it gets to the late game. And then I have 4 pikes in the center. This is pretty standard, I think, against Nabataea or against Saba. You just don't want them to charge frontally, so you have pikes. Like, it's pretty simple. On the flanks, we have, well, on the flanks and in the center, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 Nabataean Axe Warriors, 2 Nabataean Swords. Obviously, I'd take more Axe Warriors, but the money didn't work out otherwise. So yeah, 4 Axe Warriors you can see hiding behind the pike line. The pikes are here, and the sword, or the axes are right behind. And then the swords are deployed kind of far back, and they're just going to deal with flanking units like spears. And of course, he will probably have 5 Mass Guide Marauders, so one of the swords will have to take that duel. But the trick that I've brought into the fray is bringing 2 Desert Hellenic Cataphracts, posting on the flank. So basically, he can't charge me in the center because I have pikes, and on the flanks, I actually have better Cataphracts than he does. 78 charge, 128 health, 90 armor, and you can see the Sabian Camel Cataphracts. Only 68 charge, so 10 less charge, 20 less health, same armor. So these Cataphracts actually will be much better, and my plan also is to, yeah, so basically just charge his Cataphract with my Cataphract on the flank. Obviously one of his Cataphracts will be left unaccounted for by my Cataphracts, but hopefully that's like the center Cataphract, which can't really get a charge anywhere. If it flanks around wide, I'll have time to charge, cycle out, and charge again with the Desert Cataphracts there. So that's sort of the plan there. And I also have 2 Armored Desert Cavalry here on the flanks, and they are literally there to counter the Horse Archers, the Camel Archers. They're faster than the Camel Archers, heavy versus medium, and obviously they will win easily in melee because they have spears and good stats, like relatively good stats. So these guys are literally here just to surround, to block the Horse Archers from flanking and shooting me in the back, and then eventually to kill them and go after Slingers and recharge and stuff like that. So there's really no answer for these 2 units. And they're going to really lock in these guys, prevent them from doing maximum damage, and we'll see how that plays out in the game. I think, and then yeah, I also have 3 Nabataea Noble Cavalry here in the center. So this is good because he has 1 Cataphract and 1 General unit unaccounted for by my Cataphracts, but I have 3 pretty strong Cav units there to make up for that, plus the 2 Armored Desert Cav. So we have the same number of Cav units overall, I believe, 7 Cav each, but I think mine is pretty much stronger in general. Only thing he has is the 1 Cataphract and the 1 General, but I have these Nabataea Noble Cav, which are pretty good to begin with, so that's not really an issue. So let's go over his army now. Up front here we see Sabian Spears, look like 3 or 4 of them, Sabian Spears, 4 Sabian Spears, 4 Sabian Spears, and 1 Desert Spear. Interesting he doesn't go for 4 Slingers, and 1 less Sabian Spear, instead goes for only 3. I think 4 Slingers is probably better, but this will increase his just numbers for infantry. And these spears in the supporting a cataphracts will be pretty good. 20 bonus versus large. So yeah, could be a good idea. Maybe Slinger is not going to be super valuable, but again in the late game, they theoretically could be. Then up front here, 5 Mascot Marauders, pretty standard. The 3 Camel Archers, the 3 Cataphracts, and the Royal Marine Cap Gen, which is actually a decent cav unit overall. 65 armor is not great. 15 bonus versus large, of course. 42 charge is decent. Melee defense attacks pretty good. So yeah, overall not terrible. 29 melee damage spear is nice. So yeah, it's a pretty good cav unit. It's definitely better than my noble cav, but it also costs like 400 more. So we'll see how that goes. So let's get into it here, and we'll just see how my plan goes into effect. So I'm just trading Slinger Fire with him. I'm okay if our Slingers are both kind of traded off the field. It's not really a big deal. He has a little bit of force cover here, but shouldn't really do that much. But he comes forward anyway here. So yeah, I'm moving forward, going into pike phalanx, just not gonna let him charge me. And you can see I'm pre-targeting his cav, or his infantry with my cav, but I'm not running yet. I'm just gonna walk, so at the last moment I can charge and cause kind of chaos. And again, these sword units should try to kill off the spears, and the axe warriors are going to fight his guys with my pikes and the frontal charge. You can see here I'm also charging forward with an Nabataea noble cav, because I have a pike in support, so I can always bait out the charge and just let him charge my pike units. Here, these Cataphracts are now running forward, gonna get that charge. You can see again the pike is still here to block any charges, so here it wasn't a great charge for me, but that's actually kind of a good thing because, I mean, his Cataphracts did get the charge. And the pikes don't go down. Actually, some of them are, no, that's just javelins. So pretty weird charge here. This is a good charge for him, I'd say, all things considered. My cav, you can see I'm trying to pull out the Nabataea noble cav, and most of it's going to get out, but it does take like 5 casualties. Over here, I get a trample charge, and this is another thing I should have said. I was going to get a trample charge on one flank to just absolutely destroy a Cataphract, so that's where this charge is. You can see 117 charge. Just absolutely getting in there, hitting the Mascot Marauders, hitting the Sabaean Spears, hitting the Sabaean Camel Cataphracts. You lose 5-6 men on the charge. I lose nothing on the charge. My pikes are already in support. It could have been pikes down already, which would have been nice to block this, but it's all good. My axe warriors are way back. He's getting hit by my charge. I'm not getting hit by his charge. Over here again, same thing. No trample though, because I need my unit to be fresh. So this one will get exhausted, but I'll second win it with my 10. So yeah, you can see again the charge really nice here, flattening a lot of these Mascot Marauders. You can see he loses 13 men on the charge. He got a javelin volley though, killing 5 Hunting Cataphracts. But my axe warriors and my pikes are going to get him pretty cleanly, because his Camel Cataphract is here, and this one charged him against my noble cav. So decent stuff. My axes are kind of getting flattened by his cav here. This is a nice charge from the Sabaean Camel Cataphracts that got into a lot of my men. Did I lose anything? Yeah, I lose quite a few men actually. This is a nice charge from the Camel Cataphracts. But okay, let's see how this is going. You can see he's trying to do this flanking thing with his horse archers here, but where they'll just like try to flatten some of my units here. But I just charge in my Armored Desert Cav here just to tie them down, and you can see they don't get a charge or anything. These Sabaean Spears though are in a good position, or Desert Spears, to kill some of my cav, but it's fine. Here I wasn't able to extricate my cavalry kind of in an ideal fashion. Here though, getting also my sword into the action here, so I'm going to be really good on this flank. Here I get a nice charge into everything with my Nabataea noble cav. Again, he was not really able to countercharge with the Sabaean Cataphract, so using my noble cav in a way that we're not getting charged is always good. Here his Camel Cataphracts get out, taking some losses though. Noble cav took 17 losses though, so that's really bad. You can see exactly what he's trying to do here. And you can see I'm trying to pull out my Cataphract, but for some reason it's just not really able to get out effectively. He just wants to go for a charge, and I don't think it'll kill almost anything. And I have my noble cav in support here to countercharge his Camel Archers. You can see they have some kills, but those kills were on my cav from earlier, I think, shooting. Over here, yeah, Sabaean Spear going down easily to my swords. That's exactly what they're there for. You can see my axes are just fighting his spears, letting my pikes deal with the marauders. They're charging in here, but they're getting kind of poked in the side, so this is going to be really good for me. He will get a recharge on these axe warriors though, which is not great. But he's going to open up his flank for a secondary charge. You can see I am yet to second win this unit, but it should happen in a second here. This general is walking over to do it. Should always run there, but okay. Then I can also just pull out my Armored Desert Cav. You can see they already have 21 kills on his horse archers and spears. His one horse archer is in here, it's gonna die. So it got one charge, gets 40 kills, which is actually decent. But it's gonna go down here. Nabataean swordsman. We'll hold their lines. Now just pull out. I need to get an infantry unit over here to stop his spears from being so annoying. So I'm gonna pull in my axe warrior. They're gonna fight here and then fight here later maybe. This cataphracts lost 30 men, which is really unfortunate. Just because it couldn't pull out for some reason. Here though, I didn't second win this unit yet, which is stupid. Maybe I thought I did and I never did in the end, which would be really bad. But my general was so close, I don't know why he wouldn't get the second win. But okay, so here I'm just charging into his camel archers and then pulling out. Since the camel archers won't really kill anything. Over here again, this Mascot Marauder is gonna die. Pikes are gonna shift back over here. Pikemen starting to rout here. Attacked in the rear by like a few guys, and they're gonna waver. It's this unit that's attacking them in the rear here. Pikes are on the flanks. This is a little risky because I'm really opening myself up to fire, but I'm gonna kill a lot more men. But again, this is just a spear, so I should probably just face front with my pike unit there. Here my cataphract gets a pretty good charge into his cataphract. I don't think he knew I was getting a charge, so I just kind of snuck through here. But you can see there's only my men are in this fight. The Nabataean swords are now going to cut off his spears, hopefully. Blocking my charge here with both of his spears, that's annoying. But my armored desert cav here, actually Nabataean noble cav, I'm going to keep chasing these horse archers off the field. Over here, cataphract still easily more healthy than his cataphract, 39 versus 59. And I also have this armored desert cav, which was up on the hill here, comes down for a quick charge. I try to block his charge with my pike there, but they didn't get their pikes down. Get some nice javelins though, and the counter charge from this cataphract will come. Over here, just chaos. I'm trying to extricate my cav again, my cataphract. He's trying to charge in with his camel archers. We'll knock over some of these Nabataean swords. Over here, it's a big horse archer blob, but my Nabataean noble cav will just dominate that. It won't take many losses at all. Those horse archers do take a while to die though, so it'll be kind of a long fight. But over here, his cataphract is going to go down. His mascot marauders are going down. These guys are not very healthy. This one mascot marauder, my pike is much better. My axe is much healthier than his. He does get in here with a pretty much full mascot marauder, so I'll just extricate this axe warrior. Allow this pike to die, but get a cycle charger. The armored desert cav pulls out, and now he's going to go after his slingers. Over here, his Sabian Hamilkar is healthy. He's going to kill off my cataphract, but 52 Nabataean will kind of come in, don't get charged, so they'll do very well in this fight. My general gets a nice charge into the rear of these mascot marauders. You can see actually killing quite a few. I'm baiting his general away to protect his slingers, which is meaning that my general is getting 3 charges here. My slingers are focusing down his cataphract, so they're going to die here in combination with the noble cav. And here I get a nice charge with my armored desert cav, although, yeah, pretty weird charge, but nice enough to just help finish off these camel archers, which really haven't affected the fight very much, and they haven't used their ammo, so that's kind of bad. But yeah, my Nabataean noble cav. I didn't really realize this cav was so healthy, so I charged my general in here just to finish it off, because he had charge and I immediately run away. Don't want to get stuck in any bad fights. But my cataphract here is exhausted. It didn't get second winded when it really ought to have been. Like, the units were very close together, my general. But anyway, it's still going to be very powerful, 78 charge. I have another trample here, and so I'm just going to absolutely obliterate this Sabian camel cataphract. My 117 charge. Yeah, entire unit just fucking dies. Lost about 15-20 men on the charge there. I have infantry support. Everything is kind of going in my favor. The infantry war, I won pretty decisively. My general is still very healthy. His general is just chasing my armored desert cav around. Never really going to catch them. Finally realized he has to defend his slingers, but at this point it's just too late. So yeah, pretty decisive victory against Saba, but it pretty much came down to my hard counter of an army selection, really. Every unit had a purpose. I think taking the 2 cataphracts was really smart in the end. Like, it countered his cataphracts pretty effectively. He didn't have much domination of the battlefield with 3 camels, which often can really be, the deciding factor for Saba. So, yep. The rest of his army is going to rout here. And yeah, you can see most of my army is really alive. Most of my swords are not healthy, but living. Pikes all died in the end. Look at the kills. For his camel cataphracts, just absolutely nothing getting done here from the camel cataphracts. My cataphracts didn't get many kills either, but yeah, 109, 67, all against, pretty much against Mascot Marauders and Cav, so sure, decent kills. Noble Cav, nice kills on these two guys. General didn't really do much, kept him out of the fight. Slingers, pretty even kills across the board here for both sides, not really much happening there. Pikes did well, just prevented him from YOLO charging, which is really the only point that they're there for, and just to support my axis against his Mascot Marauders. Pikes are just annoying for Saba because you have to, work around that, so, yep. Sabine Spears, getting nothing done, pretty hard counter by my swords. One sword on the right did really bad. I mean, these guys, if they don't get into very good engagements, will just do terribly. They're a very, very bad unit, but you can see the Axe Warriors in general did well. Actually pretty healthy in the end, too, not taking a lot of losses. These Armored Desert Cav did fine. Just flanking, preventing him from flanking me. Because again, if he gets these horse archers in my back, then it starts to become a problem. They can rear charge, they can shoot me in the back. So keeping them on his side of the battlefield was pretty important. His general was alive, but it kind of got wasted. Didn't really do anything the whole battle. I guess my general didn't do much either, but I was winning, so I guess my general didn't really need to do much, didn't need to do anything. Stay alive, keep the morale up, that's all you need to do. And yeah, so overall, I think this is a pretty good win. Now, I think other factions might struggle with Saba more than Nabataea, which is surprising given how trashy the faction is in general, but it does have kind of randomly the good tools to deal with Saba with the cataphracts and the pikes and stuff. So yep, but I think this proves that the camel archers can be good. I think that in general maybe Saba should be taking like 1 or 2, but if he had like better spears, for example, like the Marine Guard, then he would potentially be able to do a lot more damage, I think, just because I don't have the infantry power to stop the all those spears, and then it also makes these Armored Desert Cav a bit less useful, but then again, I only took them because I knew he was taking 3 camel archers, so I think, the camel archers are easy to hard counter. They can't, shoot while running backwards, so you can just chase them. And it forces Saba to, like, micro those units, and if you're using them just to knock units over, I get that, but it doesn't really fit the unit, right? Like, yes, they're camels, and they're heavy, but that's the only damage you're doing. You're not doing any charge damage, it's just impact damage, so it's a bit kind of meh. But, I think there are cases where they'll be useful, especially if the enemy faction doesn't have Jav Cav or horse archers of their own. Then sure, like, they can be kind of useful. But they're just really slow and easy to counter, I think, if you know they're coming. So we'll see how they perform in other battles, I guess, in the future. But anyway, yep, thanks for watching, guys. And more battles to come, hopefully. Peace.